my body's pulsating. I don't know how to truly describe it. I hope everyone is doing great out there and being safe. I wanted to talk about something that transpired at my physician's today, but I'll preface it with this. It has nothing to do with my physician per se, and my physician is a great person, great at what she does, and I've been seeing her for 15 plus years now. She's incredible. But I do have a disappointment with the system in place, to where people who are complaining or reporting incidences that has to do with directed energy weapons or being attacked and tortured with electromagnetic devices do not get the proper attention or care that they should be getting. But that's just my opinion. So I made an appointment to see my physician, and prior to going in, I had called in beforehand to request to have some lab work done. Some lab work that would rule out or rule in exposure to radio, to radiation, any radioactive properties or elements or waves, what have you. So I went in and was speaking to her, and I did, I had to have my assessment done, annual assessment and all. And then I began relaying and left a message for maybe some lab work, some tests to check for radiation exposure. And then went ahead and began relaying attacks with directed energy weapons. However, I had informed her about this some years back, when the microwave attacks through the walls, on the sides, and the sonic attacks was ongoing. And by the way, the sonic attack is still ongoing, the acoustic attack. And so I had relayed that to her. And I remember at the time she had pulled up and saw just Havana syndrome, okay, there's something like that. But this isn't something she's used to, she's exposed to. And I believe her in saying that, because prior to 2022, I had no idea at all about anything that had to do with directed energy weapons being utilized in attacking people or torturing innocent individuals in general. I don't know about innocent or the guilty. I had no idea whatsoever. So I had told her this some years back. So today when I saw her, she pulled out the chart from previously. She said, yeah, you said that. And then I began telling her about this, the new one, the energy, the waves that's coming from directly above my unit at my place of residence, and proceeded to letting her understand, like the torture, the attacks. It's used to attack the skin, the bones, the muscles, or organs of the body, all internal organs too. Let her understand the body part, literally from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet, has been attacked. So I told her, some of the parts that had been attacked, and just try the best I could, because no matter how one really tries, it's somewhat difficult to relay completely the magnitude of these attacks, these torturous attacks by individuals utilizing directed energy weapons or electromagnetic devices. So I went ahead, and told her about it, and I said, okay, because when I'm at home, it's as though, and I'm laying, it's as though I am, or reclining, because now when I lay, they compress my body, and it's as though I'm going to die. So I lay, and they attack my head and all that. I lay, I reclined with all manner of devices, protective devices, makeshift protective devices to cover my body. Literally, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet has a device covering. I'm not kidding, no joke. Head, eyes, I'm protecting my nostrils, I'm protecting my mouth, I'm my neck, it has to be protected. My body parts, head to toe, I'm covered up with some kind of device. If I need to get up out of the bed, it takes me more than a minute to get up, because I have to take off layers and layers and layers of devices off of my body before I can even begin to get up. When I had last seen her, the attacks from above wasn't a thing at the time, so she didn't know about that. So I was relaying that to her. The harmful wave being sent from above, and just being used to attack the body with precision, if I might add, with precision. So whatever device is being utilized does have an imaging component to it. Nobody can convince me otherwise, because the precision of the attack is incredible. I'm talking about the smallest, the tiniest part of your body, of one's body, of my body, can be attacked. The precision of it lets you know there's an imaging component or capability to the device that's being utilized. So I went ahead and said, okay, do you have a test that can be ordered to check for radiation exposure? Because when I'm reclined and I'm laying there, it's as though I'm exposed to an electrical field. My body's pulsating. I don't know how to truly describe it. My body's pulsating. It's as though I'm in an electrical field, pretty much. If you've ever been shocked, or you do have some current, sometimes when you touch something that's like charged, yeah, that jittery feeling that you have, it's as though my body's just left under an electrical field. So I said, okay, these waves cannot be, as far as I'm concerned, cannot be good. And I've been getting exposed to it for a long time. They just leave me there, and the more I report, the worse it gets. And I'm not about to stop. Anyway, back to my physician. And so I asked her, and she said there was nothing that she could order to check for radiation exposure, which was very surprising to me. Very surprising to me. And so I had checked online, and I saw some tests that was mentioned there that could be done for radiation exposure. So I asked her about maybe a couple of them, but there were some that had to do with urine tests, and then blood, work, and some other tests. So I asked her about, the lab work, something that would be within her capacity to do. But she doesn't own the clinic, the place where she works at. She's not. So if there's nothing to order, there's nothing to order. So she said there wasn't anything that she could order to check for radiation exposure. Very disappointing to me. I'm not putting the blame on my physician now, because you get to a point where your hands are tied. There's nothing you can really do. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go back to the drawing board and figure out where I can go to check, to have the test done. The tests that I saw were mentioned There has to be someone out there that can check for radiation exposure, you know? So I decided, okay, I have to get it done myself. But what is disappointing to me, very disappointing to me, is that there's nothing in place. There's no structure in place where somebody comes in and say, you know what, I'm being attacked with so. And they're like, you know what, these are the type of tests we need to run to rule it out, that this is even occurring. How can a physician have things to do when even the authorities, those in the business of keeping us safe, they do not have anything to contribute to it? I went to the FBI and they said they do not have the squad to investigate such matters as one being attacked with directed energy weapons, electromagnetic devices in one's home or space or wherever one is. So there wasn't anything they could do about it. I went to my local sheriff's department, the police department, and they're telling me they do not have the resources to handle it. Not only that, they told me I need to go for a psychiatric evaluation. I need to go see a psychiatrist to go for a mental health, psychiatric evaluation. So if they do not know, those who are supposed to be in the business of knowing and having a structure in place to handle such matters, what are these physicians supposed to do? I'm of the belief, strongly believe, that there needs to be a system in place that when somebody goes into the authorities to say, okay, this is what is going on, I'm being exposed to such torturous attacks, assaults, there needs to be a system in place, a procedure, a defined procedure to say, okay, this is what we do. So we're going to take you through A, B, C, D. When somebody does get violated in a way, when you go into the hospital, there's a kit they pull out. There's a procedure, a defined procedure to say, okay, this is what we will do to check. So it's disappointing that there's nothing like that in place. You can't even check if you've been exposed to radiation from this diabolic, sinister attack by unscrupulous individuals for reasons best known to them why they're doing what they're doing. So there was no test, at least to check for such exposure that was in place. Something. Every day I am getting attacked. Every day. Even today. I get attacked for reasons, and for reasons best known to these individuals. They wait for me to get home. As soon as I get home, just give a minute or two, attacks begin. I'm sitting, I'm getting attacked. I'm standing, I'm getting attacked. Literally standing. I'm laying down, I'm getting attacked. I'm reclined, I'm getting attacked. There are health issues that I'm getting addressed. Instead of getting better, it's getting worse. Because these individuals just don't care. They do not care. I think that's what they want to see happen. So it's difficult to tell. Is this something that they're doing for kicks? Because they want to do it, because it's very diabolical. It's devilish. So so I just got so frustrated again. And she's like, okay, I see this, but it's not something that is well known. I look on the internet, I see it, and she was in front of the computer, and she's like, okay, I see it on the internet, but it's not something that is known, so there's nothing, and she can do about it. And like everybody else does say, why don't you just move? So I told her, I said, because I was relaying what was going on, So I told her, I said, okay, if I move, then these individuals go on to begin attacking other people. Who will be the next victim to these individuals? Diabolic attacks. Who is it going to be next? And if I move, I told her I'm dealing with these set of issues on the inside at my place of residence, and I'm dealing with a different set of issues outside my place of residence. So I move and they follow me because I'm being gang stalked. I'm being gang stalked. So they follow me to where it is that I'm moving to. What changes? This is not the first time these individuals have done this. Because of the precision, the expertise of what is being done, they know how to go far, and they injure without leaving any visible signs. And you're looking at the person, you're not saying, you're looking at, you don't see the injury, but one is hurting. I'm hurting on the inside. And I was telling her, I'm pained. I have pains. And I'm working with an aid. They attack bones. The bone is attacked. The muscles are attacked. The organs are attacked. Even my abdominal organ, they're able to attack the inside of it. So there's somebody out there who knows exactly what's going on and can do something about it. You understand? If we're a part of the family of the elites, or maybe the president, I should say, would they be telling me that there's nothing they can do, or there's no squad to handle such matters? Oh, there's no test that can be done to check if you're being exposed to radiation? So I told her, I said, just like I had done some years back, where I had to buy a device. It was quite expensive. It was costly. A device to check for microwave energy. And I did find that out. That was how I was able to figure out what was being sent through my side walls to attack me. That same way, I'm going to have to look for a device that will have to measure and check for radiation in my home, on me. Because it's a dangerous situation when somebody is constantly being exposed, to such harmful energy. So we need to get to a point where there is a clear structure, a procedure that can be followed when somebody comes in to complain about attacks, torture, by individuals utilizing directed energy weapons or electromagnetic devices. So it was quite disappointing to me that I could not get any lab work, any test, nothing. At least give me some kind of scan or something. As I'm standing, I'm talking, I'm feeling pain. And it's a terrible thing. This is a network of wickedness, conspirators just coming together to say, you know what, we're going to target this individual, we're going to do this and do that, and we are going to, as far as I'm concerned, somebody's trying to off me because of the types of attacks that I've received. That was the day I thought I was going to, that I was going to be done. That was it. But God, I've left my bedrooms, went into a closet to sleep in a closet because there were, cartons and all of shoes and clothing hanging on the rack. So I laid underneath, try to, stay underneath to try to sleep there. These individuals compressed me so badly, I thought that would be it that day. So various attacks. Nobody can convince me that the devices being utilized cannot be used to off someone, to just do away with a person. Nobody can convince me otherwise, because I know what I have dealt with and what I'm still dealing with these attacks. And the majority of people who are complaining, who are being targeted, the majority of them complain of, these things, and they're not being taken seriously. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame to the system. It's a shame. It's a shame. A real shame. I needed to have a sheriff, a police sent out to my home because I was tortured all night. This isn't something that's not been going on. It's since 2022, every day I am tortured. I've endured various attacks. I had to have a deputy called out to my home. And it's as though I was wasting their time. I've asked them in the past, I'm like, do you know about directed energy weapons being utilized on people to attack and torture people in their homes, or electromagnetic devices? You know the answer I got? No. So people who are in the business of protecting and serving do not know about that. What do I expect from my physician? And the issue, another issue that I think, we have is the issue of lack of awareness, the lack of information out there. The majority of people I have spoken with about this issue, even people in security business, they tell me they have never heard of such occurrences. People is something. This has got to change. It has got to change. So the question again, why don't you just move? So if I move, and then these individuals are allowed to continue with their sinister attacks on people, who is going to be the next victim? That's what I keep asking. Who? This is something I'm okay. I know. Okay, in 2022, I was just all over the place. Like, what's going on? Even this year, I'm still desperately looking for answers. And these people just keep upping their antics, because guess what? And I told my physician that each time I make reports, nothing is done about it. These unscrupulous individuals get more emboldened to continue with their attacks and just one up themselves. They make it even worse. And when I make calls at home to report, which I did majority of the time, especially last year, to the FBI, to the local sheriff department, they can hear me. Not only are we under 24/7 monitoring, surveillance at home, for reasons best known to these individuals, they can hear. And it doesn't help that in California, the homes are constructed with planks, with wood initially, and then before you put all those, the coverings and all of that. So it's easy to send such waves through the walls to attack a person. And there was a thing to where people are able to hear what you're saying. So each time I do that, they can hear the responses, and mind you, my devices are hacked into, still actively hacked into. So they can hear when I call. You're like, oh, how do you know? I know this without a shadow of doubt. And I was telling my physician how long I had been there. Well over a decade before hell broke loose around us. And the only thing that was different in 2022, individuals moved in and all hell broke loose. So is this something that I have done? You don't need to have done anything wrong for these individuals to find reasons. I'm sure they have some kind of reasons that they've reasoned in their own heads. Initially, I thought maybe the management at my, the management team and my place of residence wanted us to move out, but you sexually violate someone because you needed, everything else that had been tried wasn't working, and then that needed to happen. There's so many things that's occurred, that transpired, that just blows my mind. Another issue is the brick wall that one hits when you're trying to put the information out there. Who is afraid of having this information put out there? So where do we go to seek for help? I'm not stopping. You see, every roadblock, go to the cops. I mean, the body language is as though one is a bother. You're bothering us. And they begin to ask you, what do you want us to do for you now? We've exhausted everything we have. You've exhausted everything. You haven't done any investigations. You haven't come in to use any devices or any of that. All you've gotten was my report, and you said I needed to go for mental health evaluation. Which resources have you exhausted? Just talking? I don't understand it. So there needs to be a system, and nobody's going to get that system in place for those who are targeted for such torturous attacks. Nobody's going to get it for us but us ourselves. We have to work at it. Because it's as though, like I said, well, when I go in, it's just like I'm bothering these people who are supposed to be of help. People need to understand that this is real as it gets, as real as it gets. This is real. People are dealing with issues. I'm in my right mind, and I'm dealing with that on a daily basis. So there needs to be a clear structure. There needs to be a procedure that we can follow. When I went to the FBI field office in Los Angeles, guess what I was told? There are a number of individuals who have been there to report what I'm reporting. It may not have been the exact thing. I don't know about the sexual violation part of it, but that, individuals have been there to report what I was reporting, but there wasn't any squad available. A squad needs to be put in place, right? So there are individuals out there who have been through what I am going through. In the Los Angeles area, I would say, because if they went to the Los Angeles field office, they have to be around somewhere in California. So we have to be able to come together and get this addressed. Be safe out there. Be safe out there. And for those going through all of this, stay strong. Don't throw in the towel. Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep the faith. Over and out.